Welcome, everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte. What is up? What a crucial week. Fantasy football playoffs. We are right now in the most chaotic fantasy football playoff week that I can ever remember. Full season, everything goes according to plan. No real issues with games being rescheduled. Of course, the first week of fantasy football playoffs is when games are going to be littered all over the place. So it's a beautiful time as a football fan if you're not playing fantasy football, because you've had games on Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, one more day off on Wednesday, Thursday, a day off on Friday, then Saturday and Sunday. Beautiful time. But for us, we have to sit through and sweat through all this stuff. As always, I am joined by Lou and Weston of the We're Talking Football podcast. Fellas, what is going on?
What's going on, Jason? How you doing? Obviously, God did not make fantasy football playoffs this year because he's trying to mess it up for everyone by just throwing everyone under the COVID bus. But I'm glad if you're in the playoffs right now, you got to tune in, you got to listen to us, and here we go.
Yeah. Just wild times. I think this is going to be one of our more exciting shows where we're all scrambling to figure out what to do based on who plays when, who's going to return under revised protocols. It's going to be epic, and I can't wait to see these questions.
Absolutely. And real quick, I understand that the games are about to start in an hour, but everyone should have a discussion with their fantasy football commissioner right now in terms of what's going to happen if a game gets canceled, right? They've already rescheduled some games. So, for instance, what I have been doing in any league that I've been a commissioner, I've been on top of it the entire time. I'm allowing people to pick one replacement for each player that is in one of those Monday Night Football games, Sunday Night Football, where there'll be no replacements. Same thing with Tuesday. And if something happens, God forbid, you're able to swap that person in. But you have to declare that person before kickoff. So at least try to work something out with your commissioner so you don't get a zero. Best way that I could put it, that's the way that I've been handling it. And I did it all of last year. Didn't have a problem too much, honestly. So for instance, here, I'll give you an example. Tuesday, let's just say you have Derek Carr and you're starting someone else who's playing on Tuesday, right? The Browns. You have Derek Carr, you have Nick Chubb. Well, what if that game is canceled, right? And there's nobody that you can replace them with at all. So what you do is you call out someone on your bench that says in for Carr in case, in for Chubb in case, and then boom, they're able to be slid in there. The commissioner can switch it. So obviously other commissioners have ways that they're doing it. That's the way that I've been doing it since last year, and that's the way that all week, any league that I've been commissioning with, I've been talking with my people, trying to be, remember, the commissioner works for you. You don't work for the commissioner. So this is where it's time for him to make his money, even though he makes none. So this is, you know what? People are going to say, oh, it sucks. He has to do a little bit more. Screw it. That's why you're the commissioner. So just make sure you're good.
It's a thankless job. It's a thankless job.
Absolutely.
You're a generous guy, my friend. I feel like everybody else is kind of like, yo, figure it out, you know?
No, I can't do that, man, because that's the last thing I want right now. Is like I don't want people getting zeros, especially in this week. So look, we're getting closer to kickoff. Let's get it. We've got some questions real quick. So first one, Ben, what's up, buddy? Jason, I need help. Pick one. PPR, Michael Carter, Russell Gage, AJ Green. Woo, Michael Carter's back. He is going to be the running back, y'all. Michael Carter. Russell Gage plays the 49ers. AJ Green against the Detroit Lions. How much do you think that Arizona is going to actually have to throw in this game against the Detroit Lions?
It's interesting because I feel like Connor's a little banged up, and Edmonds is just coming off IR. So I think they're gonna throw more than you would probably think because they're just getting these guys into the back of swing of things. That's my opinion, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but I think you're going to see more Christian Kirk, more Rondell Moore. I think some more gadgetry. I think they feel like they're going to win this game probably handedly, regardless of who suits up. So for me, I've talked about this all the time. In these scenarios, I always err on the side of the running back who's going to be guaranteed more touches. Ty Johnson, we know, is not suiting up, so it feels like Michael Carter's the only game in town. So for me, this would be Michael Carter.
Yeah, I'm going to roll Michael Carter here too. No Elijah Mitchell. Tevin Coleman's the only one that's there. But when Michael Carter was there, Robert Sala's already said significant role. I'm rolling with him. Russell Gage, I can't trust it this week because I just have a feeling the 49ers are going to whip up on the Falcons this week. Spoiler alert. All right, pick one. Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. Right now, it is Tom Holland. Tom Holland is the definitive Spider-Man now after No Way Home. Unfortunately, here's what I'll say about this. What if that first movie, Homecoming, isn't his origin story, and all three of these movies is his origin story?
I'm going to excuse myself after I answer this because I know how it's going to make you feel, Jason, but I am so lost in this. I know who these actors are,
okay.
But I have not seen a Spider-Man since I was a child, and it was a cartoon version of Spider-Man. So again, I'll go ahead and excuse myself.
You're good.
I'm definitely team Tom Holland. Never even saw the Andrew Garfield ones. That's how interested I was when I found out he became Spider-Man.
They're very bad. They're very bad.
I mean, I have no inclination to go back and watch any of those movies.
Bad. They're worse now than they were then, and they were terrible then. And
I like Tobey Maguire, but I also felt like he got more support and more fandom because it was one of the earlier Marvel movies, and it was better than anything that ever came out prior. So it's Tom Holland, though. He really stepped up the franchise.
For sure. All right. Raymond wants to know, need an opinion on how bad Javante's injury because I need him, but I'm worried about the injury. I'm playing him. If he's ready to go, he's ready to go. It's just there's a split now. Obviously, even after that, week winning performance in Kansas City, they went right back to Melvin Gordon, like right back to him. But they're gonna run the ball. They should be fine. I'm still rolling Javonte as an RB2 this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's scooting up, he plays.
Yep. Real quick, guys, turn into Pro Football Doc and read about the injuries that way. I'm confident with Javonte playing this week.
Okay, perfect. So, we're waiting for more questions to come in, guys. Is there anybody that you're necessarily worried about this week in playing or anything like that? Lou, it sounds like you got
you know what? You guys can help me out. I have Gesicki versus the Jets with no Waddle. Don't forget, or Dawson Knox versus Carolina. No Emmanuel Sanders in there too. So that's what I'm flipping between. My gut said Knox, and I hate changing a player out of a lineup like the last second because every time I do it, I usually get kicked in the ass. But I'm sticking with Knox for now, but I'm going back and forth between Gesicki and Knox.
No Waddle.
No Waddle, but I go to the quarterback play on this. And we already know how I feel about one individual. And I just think that Josh Allen, Dawson Knox chemistry has been real, and it's been real all year. And I think it's a mop-up game for them early. So I feel like Knox will have a big game, and most of it will probably be in the first half. So I'd play Knox here.
Okay.
Kicker news. I know that this is important.
I don't believe in kickers.
Oh, man, what a masterclass at not kicking. I was so happy. Zane Gonzalez of the Carolina Panthers, if he's in your lineup, you need to get him out of your lineup. He was carried off the field. He is not kicking today at all. So, I don't know if that helps anybody. Obviously, you know how I feel about it, but you may have him on your roster, and you need to get him out of there right now because right now it looks like they have the punter and Reggie Bonifant on the field trying to kick field goals to see what they're going to do in this game. So, could get hairy. That just means a lot more fourth down attempts for Cam. A lot more fourth down attempts and more plays for the offense. So I don't know if that tips the scales one way or another. So anybody that's in here right now, we're about 10 minutes in, fantasy football playoffs. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell when we go live. And if you've made it this far, good for you, man. Good for you. 14 weeks. And then we're talking about this week where everybody is navigating right now. Don't know if Tyler Lockett's going to play. You just got Daryl Henderson back, but who knows where he's going to be. There's just so many things that are going on right now in terms of who's going to be playing, who's in and out. And the NFL changed their protocol to pretty much like, if you don't cough, we're not going to test you. So that's it.
Yeah.
And they're just like, you're not slowing our money down in any way.
See no COVID here. Yeah. See no COVID here. No COVID. Ain't no COVID. Pretty much.
Yeah.
There's some guy with a wig that said something like that. If you don't test, there'll be less cases. So I guess that's what the NFL is like just running with at this point, man. It's like you literally have to show up to the stadium now coughing for them to be like, wait a minute, do you have COVID?
So to this point though, Jason, this is why I don't think that there's going to be any canceled games, right? The NFL, like there's paychecks on the line, there's TV contracts on the line. And I know for the longest time they were saying like, we will penalize you, you will forfeit, blah, 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 blah. That's just not going to happen. And they're already proving that that's like not going to happen. If you got 46 guys, you're gonna have to suit up. It's just the way it goes.
That's it. All right. Sean wants to know Mike Evans or Gabriel Davis. I'm rolling Mike Evans Sunday Night Football against New Orleans. I understand you might be a little bit hesitant with Marcus Lattimore, but for some reason, Marcus Lattimore is one of the more boomer bust cornerbacks in the league. It's either he's going to shut Mike Evans down or he's going to get killed for 3 touchdowns. And I just cannot live with Mike Evans on my bench in this fantasy football playoff.
No, this is playoffs, right? You can't get. I don't feel like you can get cute in this scenario. And I know Emmanuel Sanders being out makes this feel a little bit more attractive for Gabriel Davis, but this is Mike Evans.
Yeah, you don't ever sit your studs in the playoffs. You'll kick yourself, where when if they go crazy.
Cool. Exo wants to know DK or a mix-in for my flex. So we don't know if Tyler Lockett's going to play in this game. And Cincinnati has Denver. So it's hard to bench Joe Mixon at this point, man. It really is. I understand last week, he went up against those studly San Francisco 49ers and they largely kept him in check. But I just don't think you can bench Joe Mixon at this point. He's a top 5 back right now in fantasy. It's so hard to say that. And just DK hasn't done it, man. He just hasn't done it, man.
I don't even know if DK, at least in PPRs, has broken 15 points in the last 4 or 5, maybe even 6 weeks. I just can't envision a scenario where you're sitting Joe Mixon, especially for a team that needs to get right quick based on what this AFC looks like right now. And I think, the easiest way for the Cincinnati Bengals to get back on track is you turn around and you give that ball number 28 and you let him work. And I think you're going to see a lot of that today.
See, I get the whole questioning Mixon because the last 2 games against your guys Niners and my guys Chargers, he hasn't really been performing too well. But that being said, DK has shown absolutely nothing this year, and I feel like there's no chemistry between him and Russell Wilson whatsoever. So I always lead towards a running back too, because especially with someone like Mixon who can run the ball or catch the ball. So I'm going to say Mixon too. I'm going to say the same exact thing.
Yeah, and the Denver secondary and what Fangio is going to be able to do may slow down T. Higgins and Chase a little bit. So, I mean, I think that Mixon's going to have a good chance to have a bunch of touches and have an impact in this game. So, Sean wants to know, is Cordell Patterson worth the start against my Niners? Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. He's a must start pretty much. Anytime that he's out there, he's the entire offense.
Yep.
Think about Deebo Samuel. You're not worried about Deebo Samuel in a matchup, right? It's the same exact thing. Backfield, wide receiver, everything. I think that you have to play him.
Yep. I can't believe it's 2021. We're saying Cordell Patterson is a must start.
Eighth year breakout, baby. 8th year breakout.
Yeah, some guys are slower. He was raw coming out of college. So
right. Paul Madison, shout out to him, man. He's one of our favorite listeners on all of our platforms. Algorithm, baby. Pick the defense in Standard League. Tampa versus New Orleans or Tennessee at Pittsburgh. I think I lean Tampa here, man. Taysom Hill. He's not going to be able to throw the ball. I think that he's going to be fine for fantasy, but I don't see New Orleans lighting them up or anything like that.
This one's a little tougher for me. I'm going to err with Tampa, and I just because of the quarterback, but I don't know. I have very little faith in what Pittsburgh's doing on offense as well. So I think, Tennessee's winning games by still controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides, but I am going to say Tampa.
Yeah, I'll say Tampa too. And Jason, just as exactly what you said, Taysom Hill will still put up fancy points, I think, but he'll also have numerous turnovers, and that I still think both aspects can eat there. But I definitely think Tampa versus New Orleans.
Right, and when you look back last week, Taysom Hill had a great matchup against the Jets, and he was awful for a large portion of that game, and then he scored that one touchdown at the end where Alvin Kamara was like, "I told this dumbass to get down and not score." But that's the example of why fantasy football isn't the way that you evaluate, right? He was terrible for 3 quarters. He has one big run, boom, he made your fantasy week right there. So I think that they should be fine, and if they're in any sort of fashion where Tampa's ahead and they have to come back and Taysom Hill has to throw, that's a recipe for interceptions, fumbles, and just that finger's still banged up. So
that was Jonathan Taylor last night, by the way. Conventional football would say get the first down and go down, and he looked around, was like, should I go down? And he just did the old F it and thought of his fantasy owners and took it to the house.
He knew. He put everybody on his back. Here we go. Lee Ving, Javonte playing, other options, Chase Edmonds or Michael Carter. Yeah, Javonte's playing, but I actually kind of might lean Michael Carter over Javonte right here, only because Michael Carter has less of a timeshare than Javonte. I understand worse offense. I get that completely. Miami is a very good defense, at least for fantasy, lately, but Michael Carter is going to get more touches, and Javonte is going to be playing in this game. I have no hesitation to start Javonte, but it's really between him and Michael Carter for me in half.
It's playoffs. You got to chase the volume. I feel like, right? And I think the volume airs towards Michael Carter here. If I was putting this in order, believe it or not, I'd go Carter, Edmonds, Javonte. And the only reason why I say Edmonds is just because if Connor is a little nicked up in a game that they might be able to win handedly, I would have to imagine that I'd go to the guy that's a little bit more fresh, coming off IR, that they probably rested an extra week when they didn't have to. But I'd go Carter.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with all you guys. Edmonds is not even on my radar. I don't like throwing someone that just got off a long injury report like that, into a starting lineup. I think there's a rust factor there, especially with the Cardinals. I feel like, even when I'm getting some players back from injury, they still look extremely rusty. So I still think that bodes true for Edmonds. So I agree with you guys. It's Carter for me.
Appreciate you, Luke. And just for anybody that's watching, this is Weston's last time that he's on here because he slandered Javonte Williams, and I'm not standing for that. So just make sure you enjoy Weston on here because he's not coming back next week. It's not happening.
I thought I did myself in when I was talking about Spider-Man, and I'm following you all week.
No.
Oh my god!
If you've never seen Spider-Man, that's fine. How dare you say something bad about Javonte Williams on my show? Ridiculous, man. Luke, appreciate the support, buddy.
Can I do a final send-off to close the show, though? To
say
farewells to everybody?
All right. Cool Blue. Now you have your chance to redeem yourself right here. One running back, Javonte, Miles Sanders, or Michael Carter. I actually lean Miles Sanders here in this one, just because I think that he's going to get more touches. And now Jalen Hurts is there, which lends more to the running game. A lot more zone read, can open things up in that way. Miles Sanders feels like he's getting into a higher snap percentage. And if we're chasing just volume, then it's Miles Sanders for me.
Can I go on this one? Because I actually have this is something
similar conundrum.
Yeah, well, not really. I'm starting Javonte, and let me tell you why.
Okay.
Greater.
Who just wants to stay on one extra week beyond me?
And by the way, I'm looking for a new co-host on the We're Talking Football podcast. Send me a resume. No, all kidding aside, with Javonte though, he has a greater ability to get into the end zone. Where Miles Sanders, he gets volume. I get that, but he never gets in the end zone. They always throw in Boston Scott or Howard's coming back off an injury too. So I don't like that whatsoever. And you said that you like the fact that Hurts is coming back. I don't. Hurts, I think, steals carries from Sanders. So I'm saying Javonte here.
Okay. Weston, choose wisely.
He's like shaking.
I've never been this nervous in my entire life. No, I'm sticking with what we've been talking about. I'm sticking with Michael Carter as my one on this one, and then I am putting Javonte, and then I'm going Miles Sanders because I do actually agree with my co-host here, Lou, that I think Jalen Hurts coming back. There's just too much ifs around this Eagle Washington football team game. I have my own questions related to it. It's a totally different position, but I'm going Carter, Javonte, Sanders in that order, but I'm sticking with who I've been sticking with this entire show, and it's Michael Carter.
And also, Washington. Yesterday, they just said that all their defensive linemen got off COVID all of a sudden after the new protocol. So they're back to full strength, their defensive line.
Cool. I hope you choose wisely. And this is a great example of like, hey, if you ask this question, our answer should just be one part of your process, right? Everybody has their own process in terms of, okay, do I check the rankings? How am I feeling? My gut. You'll ask someone for advice. It should never be an end all be all like, hey, we said this guy, so I'm playing this guy because you said that. It should just either help you make the decision or push you to the right decision. And in this case, all three of us gave you a different answer. So Godspeed, Kua. Make the right choice, man. I'm rooting for you, and I'm going to be thinking about you when these games are on, man. All right. Sean Cook wants to know, Joey Burrow, Russell Wilson against the Rams, and Joe Burrow against Denver. I think I lean Burrow here, man. I don't like the Seattle Rams matchup for them. I don't. And I don't care who's on COVID. They never play them well, ever. And I'm good. I want to stay away from it, especially without Lockett.
Yeah, word for word, no Lockett. That's a big deal. That's his safety net. Wilson for I don't think Burrow has the most favorable matchup against I would say the Broncos secondary, but I would say Joe Burrow in this particular instance.
This one's extremely tough because I'll tell you right now, the Broncos match up extremely well against the Bengals. That secondary can neutralize, Chase and Higgins. All that being said, the question marks with Lockett and the fact that the Rams always play Seattle tough, I still have to slightly lean towards Burrow.
Okay. Here we go. Game and Ganja, Jimmy G or Cam. Woo! I'm going to say Jimmy G.
I'm going to say Jimmy as well. I think
no. You guys lost your Jimmy G. You guys were all pounding you all loved Cam a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
well, your guns.
No, we gotta win championships, man. We gotta get on. Like we're not just gonna listen. I had to take the L. I said it on Twitter. I was like, man, that's it. I'm done. The guy's playing like shit. I gotta own it. Like I'll take my L. I took my L. That's it. But in terms of Jimmy G is one of the better streamers this week, and a lot of people who are stuck. Let's say, for instance, you're nervous about Joe Burrow. You're nervous about Russell Wilson. Jimmy G's not a bad pivot over there as well, too. Now, we just talked about the kicker not being there for Cam. That's fine. But Buffalo's defense, I think they're going to be fine. They're going to knock all that shit out, man. I'm with Jimmy this week. I think that he's going to have a great game against the team with the dead last in pass rush. And I just don't think much of Atlanta. I'm sorry. I know everybody's like, well, you can't take them lightly. I can take them as lightly as possible. I'm not playing. I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. I can guarantee a win. I can do all of that. It's none of my business. I don't play. So I just think Jimmy G's going to have a good game.
I think Jimmy as well. I think, hey, a little revenge tour here for Kyle as well against a former team that he was part of their Super Bowl run. I think he knows the strengths of what's going on, and I do think he's going to devise some conceptual game plan here to put Jimmy in much more favorable spaces. No Elijah Mitchell. We saw what the run game looked like last week without Elijah Mitchell. It wasn't the best. It was, certainly by committee. This is Jimmy easily to me, actually.
Real quick, I'm starting PJ Walker and Trey Lance ahead of Cam Newton.
So, shocker. XO, Taysom or Russ is Taysom. The rushing floor, you just can't get away from it at this point. And even if they're in catch-up mode, and, I know that's good. We said for the Tampa defense, it's good for him. If they're chasing points, then he'll have a bunch of chances at garbage points. It's Taysom, I think.
Yeah, I'm Taysom all the way on this one. I think even early in this game, some schematics being drawn up to get him on the outside, get Taysom's legs moving, be physical with that Tampa Bay defense. So I think this is Taysom Hill.
Well, you know how I feel about Taysom Hill this week. I said it on our podcast where pretty much I said, if you're missing like a Lamar Jackson type of player, at the time we didn't know Josh Allen's playing, pick up Taysom Hill. He'll get you points. Won't look pretty doing it, but he'll get you points. And I also think Russell Wilson's distracted, probably putting his house up for sale and looking for real estate in New York and New Jersey coming to the Giants next year.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just trust Kevin James to put Taysom in a good spot. Right? I just think Kevin James is going to come out with a great game plan, and he's going to get Taysom Hill in advantageous spots, man. And I just trust him, man. His track record is too long for you to go against that.
Where did this movie even come
I don't know.
from? I have no idea. But I'm so glad it's out. I can't wait to see this movie.
Does anyone know who's playing Greg Williams?
Yeah, that's what everybody was worried about, right? Like this starts with Bounty Gate, and they're like making a joke of it. They're like, "You're suspended for like injuring players," and it's just like, and I'm like, why Kevin James, man? It's like, who walked into the Netflix office and was like, this is what I'm gonna be. This is my pitch. Kevin James as Sean Payton after
sold. Say no more.
And then it's a comedy. Oh my God! All right. Jesus, man. And for anybody who doesn't know, there's a Netflix movie where Kevin James is playing Sean Payton. It's just, oh my goodness. And Taylor Lautner is playing his son or something like that. The kid from
early Oscar buzz, by the way. Early Oscar buzz.
Early Razzie buzz. Ben V wants to know OBJ, Ayuk, or Melvin Gordon. If this is PPR, you're starting Ayuk, and I think you're starting Odell Beckham. They're turning it on, man. They are turning it on, and they're finding ways to get him the ball week after week.
Yeah. The Odell train is picking up steam. But for me, if this is PPR, I'm going Ayuk and Melvin. And I'm telling you, we said this last week, right? When Lou wasn't with us, when we were talking about Javonte, and I was like, Melvin's not going away. Like, he's still their lead back right now. He's still getting plenty of opportunity, and he's been rather productive with that opportunity. So for me, it's Ayuk and Melvin.
I'm going to say Odell and Melvin. Like I said,
well, there Melvin, you have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's pretty telling how when he came back from injury, they still featured him in a 50% timeshare, if not more. And Odell, you're right, Jason. He has been turning it on. They have to make sense of this. They have to sell it as like, hey, we knew what we were doing, so they're force feeding him. But he's looked a little better too. So
yeah. And I like the way Sean is like fade to Odell in the end zone. Like they're making an effort to get him the ball. And I mean, when Matt Stafford is like throwing lasers like he was on Monday Night Football, he looks like he's a little bit like the guy earlier on the year. So, and who knows what the backfield is going to look like, right? With Henderson and Sony right now. So, I expect Odell to have his opportunities, but Cooper Kupp is still the man in town. Mm-hmm. Anthony, Michael Gaskin, Mike Davis, Rashad Penny need two. Gaskin and Penny, I don't even think you try to mess around with Mike Davis this week at all.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep this real short and sweet. No disagreement. It's Gaskin and Rashad Penny.
Davis is not even rosterable in my opinion.
Like
you shouldn't. Yeah, he shouldn't even be on your bench. So yeah, Gaskin and Penny.
Okay, Jay, love the name. Okay, Michael Gallup, Brandon Ayuk, James Robinson. Now here. Can I go on my spiel real quick?
Please do.
I'm all in on James Robinson this week. All in. Urban Meyer's gone. Daryl Bevel, one thing Daryl Bevel wants to do is run the damn ball. I am all in on James Robinson. He's not getting benched this week. And Carlos Hyde's out. And if we're chasing volume against a horrible Houston Texans team, if you've made the playoffs and you've been starting James Robinson week after week, you can't go away from him this week. This is the week to play him, and I got James Robinson this week. Anywhere that I have him, he's a must start.
I feel the exact same way, and I always talk about this when there's a change of the guard, whether it's a coaching, like this just brings up those players. You've seen people in this locker room pounding the table saying, I don't understand why Robinson isn't. So it's not injury related. It's not anything. It's just philosophy, and I think that philosophy changes today. So to me, this is also James Robinson. I expect like 25 plus touches from this guy this weekend.
I concur. That's all I'm going to say. I concur.
Perfect. DJ, smash those likes. Yes, if you guys are here almost 30 minutes in, getting close to kickoff, this is so exciting, man. Like, even if you're not in the fantasy football playoffs, just helping people who are, knowing that there's money on the line, bragging rights on the line. This is what we worked all year for, man. One more thing that I want to say and kind of get off my chest. If you are not in the playoffs, don't use the waiver wire. Please don't be that guy. Oh, my God. The only way that you're using the waiver wire is if you're in a dynasty league or you have a punishment for finishing last. If there's a punishment for finishing last, then do what you got to do. But if you're playing in a consolation bracket with anything on the line, please don't be that guy that is trying to take people away from guys who are in the playoffs. Please, I beg you.
There's one in every league. Every year, every league. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's Lou.
It is Lou. Hold on. I am extremely petty. So I'm playing someone that has Lamar Jackson not playing. And it's in the Yahoo League. I try to pick up Taysom Hill and then drop him for like every quarterback in the thing.
Roster turn?
Yeah. It didn't. They cut that out, though. They cut that out.
Hold on. Jason called this out last week when you weren't here, Lou. He's like, Lou's just that sarcastic guy that
Lou, you're an agent of chaos, man. Unbelievable.
All right, Weston, how many times do I win, though, man? Listen, it's all – if you're not cheating – I'm not cheating. It's in the rules. But
oh, yeah, that's out of the Bill Belichick, playbook right there. Jeez, it's like next year there will be a rule that will knock that out. There will be a rule because of that. All right. Daniel O wants to know, appreciate y'all, Taysom Hill or Stafford. Let's go Niners. Yes, man, let's go Niners. That too, man. On top of fantasy football players, we are covering a playoff team right now, and with a team with their destiny in their hands. Right here, this one's really tough, man. It really is. I have a feeling Stafford's going to light up Seattle. But at the same time, Taysom Hill gives you that rushing floor. I'll defer to one of you guys first to start this off.
I'm happy to jump in here. I'm going to say Taysom Hill. And the only reason why I say Taysom Hill is I just feel like at this point in the season, the Seahawks tend to just drag people into ugly, muddy waters, right? Like it's just kind of like what they do and how they win football games. I'm not saying that the Seattle Seahawks are going to win this game, but this was a little bit my hesitancy around OBJ as well. So when I look at this, I'm like, who's going to run all over the field, right? Like who's got that chance inside the 5-10 yard line is going to get a rushing touchdown versus a passing touchdown. So I'm going to say Taysom Hill here.
Yes, let's go Niners. But I'm gonna say,
what was that?
You said let's go Niners, so I want to, so I'm actually gonna say Stafford here. I think Odell's starting to get more comfortable, with this offense. It adds another dimension. Van Jefferson is a home run threat, albeit he does drop a lot of balls. And now they're getting Henderson, back, which provides some relief, check down relief on third downs and what have you. I still think Stafford, for me, it's close, I'll say Stafford.
Flexing that belt. I think I'm going to say Taysom Hill just because of the rushing, and I think that there's not much in the passing game. I mean, he might be a good bet for at least 70, 80 yards. That's 8 points right there from your quarterback before you even get to the passing, any sort of passing touchdowns, anything like that. If he scores a touchdown, it's money. I like to bank on that rushing floor more than anything. So I'll go. There's no bad answer here, though. There's no bad answer either.
You're not worried about that Bucks rushing defense, though?
Not with him. Just because he just gets it cheaply, like very cheaply, and off of scrambles and things like that. And you know what? They have good play design, like where they'll get him outside and they have a great line. So I just know that I know right now what that offense is, and it's him and Kamara. That's it. I'm much more worried about them like trying to slow down Kamara. Like I think they'll just give up whatever the hill. I don't really see them being competitive in this game so much.
Make Taysom beat me, right? Like that's the way. Like that's how I would approach it. And he's not going to beat you, but he's going to get us fantasy points. And I'm bringing my belt in here to give me some clout.
Flexing. Alvaro wants to know Sony Michel or Daryl Henderson. Ooh, I think I lean Henderson here. But here, like the Rams have shown a shift in their philosophy, right? They've gone away from the pass heavier sets and they've been doing much more heavy sets. Like they've been running the ball out of heavy sets with a bunch of linemen, a bunch of tight ends. So, Seattle is one of the worst run defenses in the league. We know that. But I think that Henderson is going to get right back into that spot where he's going to at least get 10 to 15. I think that's enough to make your day.
Yeah, well, the Rams probably did that because everyone was making fun of him being softer than Twinkie filling on offense and defense.
Jeez.
No, it's true. And they have to do that because everyone was playing those two high safety looks, cutting those crossers across the field that was making them, earning them bread and butter there. I do say Henderson. He just is more dynamic because he also – Michelle provides nothing on third down whatsoever. So I think Henderson will be out on the field more than Michelle.
I say Henderson. I just think this game's going to be, again, like just muddy water. It's going to be more difficult than I think other people think. Division game, and I think Henderson kind of fits the bill for what they need for the running game this week.
Okay. Appreciate you for the donation, Luke. RIP Western. Let's go down. Just to let you know, guys, this is Wes's last show out here with us, man, just because we will not tolerate any Javonte Williams slander. I will not. How dare you? All right. So good. Leaving wants to know Schultz or the Muth half point with Najee and Deontay in the same lineup. Having three guys of the same team in the same lineup scares me.
Yeah.
Here's why. Because if the quarterback goes to, then your whole team does. The one guy, the two guys I know for a fact that won't bust like that are Najee and Deontay. I know that for a fact. Deontay is the most targeted wide receiver in the world. If you have him, good luck to the person that's playing against you because in a PPR league, 15, 16 targets every week easy. If he catches 8 of them, then you're pretty much set. Yep. But in this case, Schultz or Freiermuth, I'll pass to you guys. And we're getting close to kickoff, 27 minutes. So let's get it.
I'll let you go first, Lou.
All right. Well, I'm a financial advisor, so I'm all about diversification. Yes, you have Najee and Deontay on the same team. I'm basically repeating exactly Jason's sentiment here. I also feel like this is a Schultz game. The Giants linebackers are beat up. No Blake Martinez. Their safeties are banged up too. So I think Schultz gets in the end zone here. So I'm confidently saying Schultz.
Yeah, I'm saying Schultz too, and just to this isn't like a bye week during the season. This is the playoffs, and Jason hit the nail right on the head, right? Like 3 people from the same team is a scary proposition in the same lineup. While they're all 3 good options, but if Deontay's getting his 8 to 10 catches, chances are Muth's probably not, right? So I got to spread it out a little bit, and I'll go Dalton Schultz.
Okay, I think I'll go Schultz there too. But I just that 3 people in the same team, it's scary because if the quarterback doesn't play well, then you just shot yourself with three spots.
Unless it's an elite offense. If it's an elite offense, you're
that's different. If you have Mahomes, Hill, and Kelsey, you're rolling all 3 of them every single week. Yeah, no problem. Claypool or Kirk PPR. I think I lean Kirk here this week for some reason. I just game in town slot guy. They're gonna it's. Claypool is just – I know Deontay is going to ball. I know Najee's going to ball. But I think that Kirk is up higher on the hierarchy in terms of the passing.
Yeah, I'm Christian Kirk too. I just don't think – I don't subscribe to the AJ Green freight train right with D-Hop out. I think Kirk's going to get a lot more targets. And we just talked about other players' names from this very same team that Chase Claypool plays for. I'm going Christian Kirk.
Yeah, I'm saying Kirk, and not only that, I'm guaranteeing Kirk gets a 40-yard touchdown at least.
CJ.
Yeah, it's just a young secondary with the Lions, And with no Hopkins, who eats up a lot of targets, I really do feel like Kirk balls out this week.
Perfect. All right, let's go a little bit faster. Matt Gage or Cooper? I still think you play Amari Cooper, man. I know it hasn't been pretty, and I know that Dak is struggling a little bit at this point, but I would have a tough time seeing Cooper on my bench, again, will blow up or something like that, and this be the week, and you're just sitting there looking at all those points on playoff week.
I have to play Cooper. My heart would make me. You have to play Cooper.
I go Coop.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Paul Blart coaches an NFL team. He sure does. I didn't know either, right?
Probably better than some of these coaches now.
Right. Still a better coach than Urban Meyer. All right. Bruce Stark wants to know. The only person who hates kickers worse than me is Urban Meyer. Anyway, all right. Bruce Stark, 12-team full PPR. Fill 4 spots anyway. 2 running backs, 2 flex. Should I go all running backs? Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, Henderson, Deontay Foreman, Beasley, Batsman. Well, here's the thing. Who's starting for the Ravens? Is it Huntley?
I think it's Huntley.
I think it might be Huntley. Okay. Aaron Jones, you start. I think you start Daryl Henderson. I think you start Deontay Foreman. I think you start A.J. Dillon. I'm going to go all 4 running backs, man, at this point. I mean, look, I understand the whole thing about, all right, Jones and Dillon. One of those guys is going to pop, and the other guy would at least be solid, I feel like. That's the way that I'm looking at it at this time. But go ahead. You guys let me know.
Let me go?
Yeah, go, though.
Jones, Dillon, Henderson, Beasley. No Emmanuel Sanders. And I just feel like they don't really like to run the ball, the Buffalo Bills. So I feel like Beasley's going to get his this weekend. So I'm just going to make it short and sweet.
Yeah, I'm the same 4 as Lou, actually. I'm Jones, Dillon, Henderson, and Beasley on this. As much as it pains me to not throw Batsman in my lineup, because I got him, but he can't. He doesn't cut it. And Dante Foreman, I know, is hitting his stride a little bit. Don't necessarily love his matchup. So Jones.
Look at Weston trying to come back to the podcast, our podcast now.
Paul, A.J. Dillon, or Chuba, both are projected at the same point total in my standard league, but the Bills D has me nervous. This is a good call, man, because in standard league, what do we need? We need a touchdown.
Yep.
Who's a better fit or a better chance to get a touchdown? I think it's A.J. Dillon.
Yeah, this is Dillon.
Yeah, with Cam playing, I feel like he always a threat to steal some goal line touches. So yeah, I would say A.J. Dillon.
Cool. Vader Joe, PPR, running back 2. El Jefe, Chuba, Dillon. Lou, you go first.
I'll say Dillon. And it sucks with Wilson.
I think it's only 1. I don't know. Is it 1 or 2?
It's 1. He just needs 1.
I'll say Dillon then. Oh, that makes it easy.
I say Dillon as well.
All right. Homer pick, Jeff Wilson. I think that he showed a little bit last week against a really good run defense. His press conference this week kind of got me hyped when he was talking about, I'm getting back there to that dark place. I want to take people's souls, all that stuff. I have a feeling this is kind of the week where he gets in the end zone and they limit at least how Debo is going to be used a little bit. So I kind of lead Jeff Wilson here. Homer pick. Don't kill me, Vader Joe. Good luck in making your decision at this point. All right. Let's see. Mr. Bustello, what's up, fellas? Wilson Jr., Henderson, or Aaron Jones? I think you have to play Aaron Jones, even though the snap share is scaring me a little bit right now, man. Like, it's kind of tilting the other way with Aaron Jones. And
is there something wrong with him? Is he hurt?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's Aaron.
Aaron
Jones.
Take your ass down to Shaq Hennessy's office.
Shaq, that is an all-time great skit. But I've been telling y'all for weeks that Dillon, the tide is changing. They realize what they have in this moose, and this is the time of the year where you don't want to face 250-pound running backs running at you at full steam. But in this scenario this week, I like Aaron Jones. I think he'll get a few more touches out of the backfield, so you're getting catches, you're getting open space. I like Aaron Jones in this equation.
I think the catches is what pushes me to Aaron Jones as well too, right? So I think the snap share sometimes scares people off, but then when you look, if they're being utilized when on the field, let's say it's a 55-45 split. If the guy has more touches out of 45, then that's all you really care about at that point. So I mean, I just think they have a good thing going, and they don't want to. They're trying to preserve both of them because obviously they have bigger aspirations than our stupid fantasy football championships. So selfish.
It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Those guys not caring about our fantasy team. I'm tired of these teams. Goodness gracious, Tegan. Whoa. All right. Tua or Wilson? Let's start. Let's break this down quickly as fast as we can because we're already at 20 minutes away.
Can you just give us the login of his fantasy team?
Goodness gracious, man! All right, Tua or Wilson? Real quick, guys.
Wilson.
Tua.
Oh, Zach Wilson?
You'll never hear.
You're being stubborn now, bro.
Is this Zach Wilson or Russell Wilson?
I'm sure it's Russell Wilson.
I'm saying
then Russell Wilson. I'm sorry.
Okay, I got Tua. I think he's been playing a lot better, especially for fantasy.
No Waddle though.
That's true. I still go Tua. I don't know what the hell to expect from Wilson.
Yeah, I'm going Wilson.
Okay. All right. Running back: Chubb, Monty, Edmonds. I think if you have to pick two, it's Chubb and Monty.
Yep.
Full Chubb.
Yep. Full Chubb.
Full Chubb this week. All right. That was quote of the week. I don't know why. I don't know why anybody didn't run with that. I'm so disappointed in Brown's Twitter, man. All right. Wide receiver: Diggs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Van Jefferson, KJ Osborne, Batsman, Peoples-Jones, Russell Gage. Well, you're starting Diggs. Yeah. I don't know how many you need there. Diggs and Van. KJ Osborne's close for me, man. I really like him.
It's tough. I like Osborne, right?
Yeah.
But you still don't know what's going on with Thielen. I know he hasn't practiced all week, but
no, he's not playing this week. I don't think.
You don't think so? All right. No. Osborne, he was one of my sleepers for last week. He put up 16 points. If Thielen's not playing, I'm definitely saying Osborne.
Weston?
I'm Diggs. Honestly, I like St. Brown. I mean, he's been getting those targets. So if I'm only choosing two here, I'm choosing Diggs, and for me it'd be between St. Brown and Gage because Gage is a target monster right now in Atlanta as well.
Green Bay or the Vikings defense? I think I'm going Green Bay. Well, you know what? The Vikings defense, they did a really good job last week against Ben Roethlisberger, got a bunch of sacks. And look, I love Justin Fields. You guys know that, but he holds the ball a bunch. And it could be one of those games where he gets, beat up a little bit, even though I'm starting him in the league just because of that rushing floor. But it's a little bit closer than that. I'm still going to go Green Bay.
I'm going Vikings.
I'm going Vikings too. I feel like even if Huntley's starting, I still feel like he'll be.
Well, the Vikings play the Bears.
Yep.
No, I'm talking about Green Bay.
Oh, Green Bay. Okay.
So if Huntley's starting for the Ravens, I still think he does enough to to perhaps hurt that Green Bay defense. So I'm saying Vikings too.
Okay, Gronk at tight end. Yeah, you're definitely not getting rid of him. His target share is way too big. And should I put Edmonds at flex? If it's between all the rest of those wide receivers, yeah, I'm gonna go Chubb, Montgomery, and Edmonds then.
Yeah, me too.
I'm so lost. I'll just say Diggs, Osborne, and Chubb.
All right, cool. CJ, these guys are so smooth. First time here, but we'll definitely be back. The football talk comes natural here. CJ, appreciate that, man. Really do. 18 minutes from kickoff. Let's go. I'm good. I already set all my lineups. I mean, they've been set since last night. I was like a kid at Christmas, or like the night before your first day of school. Like I had my outfit laid out and everything. I was born for this moment, so I'm good. We can stay all the way up until 1 o'clock. Okay. Lee, 2-quarterback league, second QB pick of 3. Pick one of 3. Davis Mills, Trevor Lawrence, or Huntley. I am in a playoff dynasty league where I am starting Davis Mills this week because my other quarterbacks were Deshaun Watson and Jameis Winston. And this is where I am right now. In full desperation, I am playing Davis Mills. Don't feel great about it. Whatever. It got me into the playoffs last week. I'm rolling with him again, but I think Trevor's actually going to have an all right game this week, man. Something about this change. I like this locker room's going to be much more relaxed. I think Daryl Bevel is going to let it rip a little bit more. I think James Robinson is going to take a little bit of that pressure off of Trevor Lawrence. I know he hasn't looked great, but Huntley has that rushing floor, man, and I think he plays a little bit better than people give him credit for. So what do you guys think?
I'm Huntley here, and because of the rushing. He's just going to be scrambling around, like let it rip, nothing to lose. I love backup quarterback scenarios. They're everybody's favorite player in the team, so I'm going Huntley.
Yeah, I mean, Huntley looked good against the Browns, and the Browns have a decent defense, I would say. Yeah. I think the Browns, for me, have more talent on that defense than the Packers do this week. So I really do think it's the rushing yards from Huntley, and he looked pretty accurate when he was throwing the ball against the Browns a couple of weeks back. So I'm still saying Huntley. If you are a believer in that this Jacksonville Jaguars is going to come out firing this week, then it's hard for me to sell the Mills thing. That means because if you're firing on defense, offense, what have you. So I'm definitely saying Huntley here.
Okay, cool. All right, let's go. We got 15 minutes. Ben Wiedemann, I hope I said that right. I'm sorry. I'm sure. I apologize, buddy. Gaskin or Cooks at flex. Whew. Cooks actually looked pretty good last week, finally, again, after he had like such a massive target share. Myles Gaskin and Salvan Ahmed and Duke Johnson Randy Johnson, that's his actual real name. Go look it up. His name is Randy Johnson. I'm so upset that he calls himself Duke because why the hell wouldn't you want to call yourself Randy Johnson? But those are the backs. I think I lean Gaskin here again with running backs.
Yeah, I always take the back over the wide receiver in these scenarios, and he's the number one back there, so it's Myles Gaskin.
And no Waddle.
And no Waddle.
Yeah, Ben Weidman. I'm saying Gaskin.
Cool. Let's go, Luke. Wilson has a 100-yard game and a tutty. I'm speaking it into existence too, man. That's it.
I'm
starting
him this weekend, so I hope so. From your lips to God's ears.
All right, Vader Joe, Gage, Van Jefferson, Devontae Parker, full PPR. I think you go Van Jefferson here, man. It's just too much right now. He's just been getting too many deep shots, and you're getting him involved. And that video of Sean McVay talking to him after that touchdown, that's got me hyped, man. He believes in the kid, and they're going to get him ready. I don't know if you guys saw that, where he scored, and he said, hey, coach, thanks for believing in me. And he was like, I was just like, it was a heartwarming moment. I know 49er fans don't want to hear that, but I wish there was videos like that of people saying that stuff to coach for us, but it's just, you're never going to find that.
No, that's not Kyle's style by any means. No. But of these three, I'm going Van Jeff as well.
Yeah, Tua and Parker and Tua, there's no chemistry there. What Parker does good, Tua does not do good, and that's push the ball downfield. So Gage, I don't think he has. I like Van Jefferson's ability to get into the end zone better than Gage. I'll say Van Jefferson.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, coach. Hey, Kyle, thanks for believing in me. Sit your ass down, or I'll put you on special team. Shut up. Freeman or Foreman? Freeman is like the bell cow over there. I assume you mean Devontae and not Royce. Freeman is the bell cow over there, but Deontay Foreman's been doing pretty good as well too. So we got like 14 minutes. Real quick, we'll go around. Weston.
Freeman.
Lou?
I'll say Freeman.
Freeman. Okay, I'm with Freeman too here. Bruce. Okay, I think we did this one. Yeah, we did this one too. All right. I think that's it. I think we're done with all the
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question of my peers? I need a little help myself.
Go for it.
Yeah, you can ask them next weekend when you're
by myself.
You can dial into the show and leave a comment.
Yeah.
I hate y'all, but I love y'all. So I have a Taysom Hill, Jalen Hurts conundrum. So much of a conundrum that I have Jalen Hurts in, and I went and got Minshew in case I go with Hurts and then Hurts doesn't play or game gets canceled or whatever it is on Tuesday night. Would you just go ahead and plug in Taysom Hill right now, or are you riding Hurts and see what happens?
I'm in a 2-quarterback dynasty league where I have my quarterbacks are Hurts, Zach Wilson, Rodgers, and Jimmy. And I had Jimmy in my quarterback spot, and I moved him out for Jalen Hurts. Okay. I'm gonna see what happens. I mean, again, and it's the same thing with Taysom that I'm about to say. Like, don't watch the game. Just count the points at the end of the game, because if you watch the game, it's going to infuriate you. Please don't watch the Saints or the Philly game, because he's going to have some horrible throws, but then he'll have enough rushing yards. He'll probably score a touch. So, I mean, I stick Jalen Hurts there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they're being overly cautious with Hurts, and I feel like he's going to be back and he's going to be fine. What's it been, like 3 weeks now? They had a bye. They started Minshew. This is like going on week 3. That should be enough to keep to help him with that banged up ankle. He might not be as explosive, but I still think he'll do his, to be honest with you. And the Washington team too is they're banged up too. A lot of distractions. It's going to be hard for them to come out and play good against the Eagles.
All right, we got 12 minutes. Let's get to it. X-Spirit, T. Higgins or Hollywood Brown. I know it's not the greatest matchup for T. Higgins, but I cannot take away T. Higgins and not put him in the lineup right now. He's just been so good. He has so many targets, 14, 15 targets almost every week, including last week. He was great. I still have to start T. Higgins. I think he's a must start.
Yeah, it's T. Higgins, just a target share and uncertainty around the quarterback in Baltimore right now. This just spells out T. Higgins.
I feel more comfortable starting T. Higgins this week, knowing the fact that I would think that Jamar Chase is going to be manned up with Surtain. So, yeah, I'm going to say Higgins.
D-Flow wants to know Debo, Jamar Chase or Mike Evans. I'm going to say Debo.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a week that Kyle Shanahan remembers that Debo also plays wide receiver while there'll be some other mixes. So I think he'll get this game plan just feels like it's going to be a Debo game. I hope it's a Debo game. I'm going Debo here.
Jason, thank you. Fantastic segue for me when I was just talking about Jamar Chase. Surtain is the real thing. You look at his PFF grades. He's one of the best in man coverage right now, which is phenomenal. It's Debo for me because Mike Evans going up against, like you said earlier in the show, Lattimore, who's either boom or bust, but Lattimore's always had his number. So I'm definitely going Debo there.
Okay, cool. Paul wants to know, who do you trust more for points today, Aaron Rodgers or Taysom Hill? Rodgers is set it and forget it, but I'm curious your thoughts. I can't bench Aaron Rodgers for Taysom Hill. I can't.
For anybody, you just can't.
Yeah.
Can't.
Yeah. X-Spirit, Goddard, Schultz, or Muth. I like what y'all doing on the channel. Appreciate that. If it's your first time here, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you guys like this video as well too. I am gonna go Goddard here.
I'm Goddard too. Goddard's, his ceiling's going up.
I said early in the show, I'm going to stick with my guns, Schultz. I just think it's a Schultz game. It's just a gut feeling, and I got a big gut, so usually that must mean I'm right. So it's just Schultz for me.
No. Njoku or Schultz PPR and Ayuk or Edmonds. So I mean, I guess Lou is already going to tell you Schultz. I lean Schultz as well. I just can't trust the Njoku thing because who's going to be starting? Is it going to be Nick Mullins? Is it going to I just can't trust it. So Schultz has the better quarterback, and then Ayuk or Edmonds half point PPR. I think I lean Ayuk here, man. I like what they've been doing with him lately, and they're gonna use him a little bit more this week.
So Lou, I know where you're at on the first portion of this equation. I'm the same, Schultz, and I too actually am going to lean towards Ayuk here, just because I don't trust the way that this Arizona Detroit game's going to go, how much mop-up duty is going to be out of control early. So I'm going to lean towards Brandon Ayuk. I'm
leaning towards Schultz. I'm saying Schultz, and I want to come back next week for next week's show, so I'm going to say Ayuk and agree with Jason here.
Awesome. This is a man who knows what he's doing right here. Also, if you're up against the wall and you need to start PJ Walker looks like he's going to be the kicker this week. So if he can get you 3 points, 4 points, and he makes one of those,
and let's be fair, he'll probably be the starting quarterback in the second half.
You just had to throw it in, didn't you? All right, Van Jefferson or Dylan at flex PPR. Vader Joe, we got 8 minutes before kickoff, so let's go a little bit faster here.
Dylan.
I'm going to say Dylan.
Dylan too for me. DC, Hollywood or Osborne? Norman Osborne? No, KJ Osborne. Man, go. Keep going, go.
I'll say Osborne, especially if Thielen doesn't play.
I'm saying Osborne as well.
Me too. I appreciate that. I'm with that one too. AJ Dillon or James Conner at RB2? Conner's a little bit banged up, man.
Dylan.
I'm going to say Dylan. He found a niche in this offense.
Yeah, Dylan. I agree too. Yep. Paul, appreciate you as always. Sin, what's up? DJ, thank you, man. Thank you guys for being here. So 8 minutes to kick off. I think this is the best time to leave it. So, my lineups are set. I'm ready to go. I'm going to be sitting in front of the TV. This is the most fun time of the year. If you're out there, I understand it's a pressure-filled thing, and I understand there's money on the line, but enjoy this, man, because we're almost getting down to no more fantasy football. We're also almost getting down to no regular season football. So just enjoy the time. And you guys promote your stuff so we can get you guys some more eyes. What? We got more questions. All right, hold on.
Let's do it.
Real quick. Hurts or Allen? If it's Josh Allen, it's Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, yeah.
Okay. Sin, Flex, Hollywood, DJ Moore, Jeff Wilson, ESPN. DJ Moore's a little bit banged up. He's going to play today. I don't know if I trust the quarterbacking right now. Buffalo's got a better defense. Jeff Wilson, let's go. I'm telling you, this is the week.
El Jefe.
Go Niners? Jeff Wilson.
Go Niners? I'm Ron Burgundy. Cash flow, Chris. Henderson or Ayuk, 1 point PPR. I think you go Henderson.
I think Henderson too.
Yeah, I feel like Henderson.
Yeah. All right. DC, appreciate that, man. Appreciate you for joining. So yeah, let these guys know where they can find you and get everybody in front of their TV so they can start to enjoy this week.
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at WTFPodNFL, or Weston, tell them about the YouTube channel.
You can follow us at We're Talking Football on YouTube. This is my last week here with this group, so I just want to bid farewell to everyone.
And on both the podcasts. Yeah, last week.
It's been real.
Weston, we'll always have the memories, man. We'll always have the memories.
Hey, the average career of a podcaster is like 3 years, just like an NFL player. So
yes,
you almost made it. You
almost made it. I mean, look, sometimes when it's your time, it's your time. That's it. Yeah, maybe that'll teach you to shut your dirty mouth about Javonte Williams.
All the greats retire young. Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders. I mean, listen, your great legacy you've left.
Go out on top, man. I mean, we'll do a montage before the next show and everything of like, you know, your calls and things like that. But yeah, no, I'm just kidding, guys. So look, 55 minutes, 5 minutes away from kickoff. Get out there, go get some wins, move on in your playoffs. Enjoy your football. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell because we are going to be going live for these last 2 weeks of the playoffs. And catch me back on the channel after the game, after the 49ers beat the Atlanta Falcons. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about that. So yeah, for Weston, for Lou, I'm Jason. Go Niners and win your damn fantasy football league so you can rub it in front of your friends' faces, man. Just go for it. Welcome, everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte.